I give you
Warcraft Reforged.
And what happened to the Activision stock after that? Hundreds of millions lost in market cap. This is absolutely unacceptable. You don't get to take millions of dollars up front and then just say, sorry.
And this is crazy because it's Blizzard, the king of terrible apologies.
This is what you should have been doing for the past several months. This is what should have been done before you took penny one from your customers.
Because Blizzard just released the worst apology I have ever seen.
Why are you telling us this now?
So I want to go through this piece by piece and analyze why this is such a horrifically stupid statement, and then we're gonna try and get an official refund because screw this freaking game.
I mean, sure, you can play Warcraft 3 Reforged in Classic Mode, but you can't play Warcraft 3 The Frozen Throne, i.e. the original, complete Warcraft 3.
Alright, are you ready? Buckle up. I want to just try and go through it. God, it's so bad. Hail Warcraft 3 players, we've been following the discussions the past couple days and want to thank you for your feedback as well as your support. First off, we want to say we're sorry to those of you,
quote, didn't have the experience they wanted, maybe the experience you tried to sell them in 2018.
But nonetheless, we'll continue.
This is such a condescending opening statement because they're not actually apologizing for any of the problems and mistakes that are in Warcraft 3 itself.
It was so much more than that.
And instead are basically saying, hey, we're really sorry that you're sad, but you already paid for it.
There were a few hours during launch day where we experienced server load issues that impacted players' ability to jump right in, but we were able to resolve that. Separate from that, we've seen community feedback about different aspects of Reforged that we want to take some time to address.
So already they're trying to make excuses for how the game itself flat out doesn't work a lot of the times when you're just trying to play it.
And they say they're going to share their plans. What are those plans? Well, they're not, it's a bit sparse. I do doubt that Blizzard themselves allocated resources to this project in a manner befitting of its being an integral part of Blizzard's DNA.
Because it sucks, and Blizzard sucks now.
So, yeah, mostly that paragraph it's just a paragraph of nothing. Moving on, they then spend a paragraph about classic mode bugs that cause colors and certain visuals to look a little bit different to how it actually looked, and they say those things are going to be fixed soon. So, yeah, there we go. They may, though, have forgotten one of the largest things relating to classic Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne, that they killed it.
There's already just so much in this that is obviously BS.
So they, scrubbed the original version of Warcraft 3, The Frozen Throne, from the Battle.net platform, and then they destroyed the old Battle.net, meaning that people with actual copies of Warcraft 3 are actually not able to play it online. So yes, if you've got War 3 via your game discs, tough luck, the best you can do is play that game in LAN.
One of the concerns with Reforged that we've seen are the visuals when selecting classic mode. We've identified the bugs causing the colors and shading to look different from the original Warcraft 3, and we're testing a fix that will be incorporated in a larger patch addressing this issue and others. This is basically them trying to explain why the game does not have shadows.
This is Anthem, right? This is Anthem all over again. I don't know any other way to describe it. This is just Anthem again.
Yes, that's right. In case you haven't seen it, this game, despite the fact that it's a remaster, looks like trash.
Oopsie doopsie poopsie. We'll get working on that. Just don't worry about it. We've got your money. Everything's okay.
Okay, so it says, we expect to release that later this week. The patch will also address many other known issues, such as fixing some portrait animations and audio bugs, which is good because that was the biggest thing I had, was the game constantly muting itself. We're going to be implementing some UI fixes and more. Please keep an eye out for the patch notes for a detailed list of all the bug fixes.
Another area of concern we're seeing is regarding the online features such as leaderboards and clans, which applies to all Warcraft 3 players, including those who haven't purchased Reforged. Remember, By the way, this is probably worse than the Fallout 76 debacle because it managed to screw over everyone who had already purchased the original many years ago.
Now, Blizzard's post very much chooses not to mention this fact whatsoever, and this actually becomes even more clear in their next paragraph. So, in that paragraph, they talk about the missing online features, things like leaderboards and clans, that apply to all Warcraft 3 players, including those who hadn't purchased Reforged.
You know what they're talking about here? How they've actually removed a ladder ranking. When you play online with Warcraft 3 Reforged and you're kicking everybody's butt, part of the fun of that is the bragging rights, the fact that you have an actual scorecard, which in Reforged does not exist.
Why wasn't this done at launch?
Now let's read why. Apparently, with Remastered, these other features will be included in a major patch for Reforged.
If you actually pay attention to that, you really see what it implies. The old version of Warcraft 3 does not exist anymore. The official line here is that Warcraft 3, classic Warcraft 3, is reforged, but without the graphical updates. And that is them totally choosing not to acknowledge what they did on a technical level to actual Warcraft 3, the Frozen Throne, and yeah, that they consider, what they consider to be classic Warcraft 3 is literally not classic Warcraft 3.
That basically means they removed ladders and ranking from Warcraft 3, that way they could try and patch it eventually into Reforged.
You knew that this would be a problem, you admit that it would be a problem going through StarCraft, and you didn't care. There are some individual concerns we've seen we're not currently planning to address, and we wanted to give the community a heads up.
As of version 1.3 of the original game, we saw very low usage of tournaments and the Reign of Chaos rule set, so we removed both of them in mid-2019.
But here's the deal here, right? And this is so funny. StarCraft Remastered has crossplay with StarCraft Brood War. They did not disable oldbattle.net for Brood War whenever StarCraft Remastered came out.
Again, this is them trying to make a detailed excuse for one of the things that people are definitely the most mad about, which is that they've actually removed these automated tournaments. When you were playing Warcraft 3 online for the last 16 years, it would actually constantly make these different tournaments that you could just play in randomly.
Now, of course, there's a business incentive there, because if you kill original StarCraft Brood War, well, there goes half the esports scene in Korea, but you get the point here. They've seemingly forgotten that, they did it right with StarCraft and how they've utterly destroyed it with Warcraft.
For absolutely no reason was removed from Reforged.
And then the second thing in this paragraph that I find to be damning is that it's an admission that this is just not a finished product.
We'll try and bring that back.
How about you try building them in for launch and then selling it to people and not running off promises?
Related to that, as far as we talked about last year at BlizzCon, we did not want the in-game cutscenes to steer too far from the original game.
We went a little deeper into the thought process behind that at this show.
But the main takeaway of the campaigns tell one of the classic stories of Warcraft history. We want to preserve the true spirit of Warcraft 3 and allow players to relive these unforgettable moments as they were, albeit rebuilt with new animations and higher fidelity art. But you didn't deliver that.
And this is an interesting one. There's a number of things here. So
in everything in this apology, I had to put apology in like 15 quotes, this is the part that personally annoys me the most.
Thing number one. First, they talked about that at BlizzCon. That's a paid stream. BlizzCon is a PPV. Past that, Blizzard went to pretty much zero effort to tell customers about the changes they plan to make to the scope of the project that people had already pre-ordered.
You didn't deliver that. You promised all new updated cutscenes and new voiceovers and things like that. You didn't do that.
Blizzard, I am a Warcraft fanboy. I've played thousands of hours of Warcraft. I've even read the Warcraft books. Yes, all of them. I read the Warcraft manga.
It actually gets worse, though, because they actively misled people, because even past that point, the marketing materials did not line up with the launch version of that game whatsoever.
I wanted something like you originally promised, an expansion of the lore.
Many people got the gist that, yes, Blizzard are not going to rejig the story to put more Jaina and Sylvanas in, but people still expected the more dramatic cutscene camera work.
Your excuse is that you want to try and preserve the original spirits of Warcraft 3 is obviously a lie.
And scripting that was shown in the trailer that was continued to be shown even to this day. That trailer's got the same voice lines, the same story and actions of the original game, but the production values in that trailer version of the cutscene are way higher.
This was a budget thing. You guys clearly were making this new stuff and just went, man, it'd be really expensive to do this correctly, so let's do this the lazy way.
So attempts to go for that level of fidelity, they were scrapped, and Blizzard just didn't tell people about it in a clear fashion. Also, by the way, Blizzard, at this stage, it's not Reforged, it's remastered. It's Warcraft 3 remastered. I mean, I'd maybe say it's demastered, considering the destruction of the original and many of its features, but you get the point here.
It drives me nuts that you're trying to act like this is some sort of weird, faithful thing, that you're trying to act like this is actually a reward to the community. Congratulations! You're never going to have the game improved. Alright, let's read this last little paragraph.
We know this update doesn't address all questions, but we're committed to the development and support of this game. We hope you'll keep an eye out. Wow, thanks. 283 replies out of 219 users. Here we go. Let's look at the replies. At least you said something. I can feel like a person writing this hate each word.
Any responsible company, what would they have done, right? They would have communicated these changes to everyone who had pre-ordered the game. They would have done that very clearly. Blizzard chose not to.
I think a lot of players won't come back or create custom maps until they fix the EULA. Too long didn't read. Is anything going to be done about the poor optimization? I can't even play custom games with low everything. I have a Radeon 380 and an Intel Core i9 4790 with 16 gigs of RAM. Do I not meet recommendations, let alone there is no reason my GPU should be getting into the 90 degrees Celsius range?
Until then, thank you as always for your support and passion for Warcraft 3. We appreciate all your feedback and will continue to keep the Warcraft 3 community updated on everything we're working on. Sincerely, the Warcraft 3 Reforged team. This is a terrible freaking statement.
Now, let's hop over to some of their current marketing, okay? The first line is, Warcraft 3 Reforged is a complete reimagining of a real-time strategy classic. That's a lie. That's not true. That's not what you're doing.
Very happy I got refunded when I did. The game is terrible, and this does nothing to address it.
And, this is how the higher-ups are just running those incredible things into the ground. I mean, their line on limitless custom games, that's also rather funny, given the new license agreement, as is, say, their claim of the updated UI. Of course, that's something they ended up abandoning. They originally showed a more modern UI refresh, but that's gone, and that's not even covering the cutscenes in the trailer. Then also, their claim of the higher fidelity art. I just want to be real with you here, and this is personal opinion. To me, I think it looks terrible compared to, say, Heroes of the Storm. Now, they farmed this out to a Malaysian studio called Lemon Sky, and they clearly just did not give Lemon Sky solid direction in this. The chunkiness of Warcraft remains in the buildings, but it's gone from the characters. And I really think the buildings and the characters and even the environments just clash visually. It looks like a mobile game. It looks really bad, like Raid Shadow Legends or something.
Control F custom campaign, results not found. Bring back 2018 demo UI. Summary. Here's a good one. You aren't ever going to actually apologize and acknowledge what you did, so instead you'll just say sorry to those of you who didn't have your experience that you wanted. You are fixing some of the bugs this week. You're going to add online features like clans and leaderboards that should have been there from day one but aren't telling us when. You aren't going to give us the cutscenes that were promised and are instead going to insert it's because you want to allow us players to relive these unforgettable moments. That's exactly right. That's what my reaction was when I read that. I was like, oh, so you don't want to do the work. Oh, okay.
I just want to say this as a fan of Warcraft, as a person who purchased the game itself, and most importantly, as an ex-Blizzard fan, this is not a good statement. This is not something that makes me have any sort of confidence in the project going forward.
Also, I mean, the higher detail models, they're far less readable than the original Warcraft 3 ones. And if you think about the animations, I mean, if you're dealing with low poly models, then you can get away with pretty stiff animations. I think less so here. I mean, just compare this stuff to the work they did with Heroes of the Storm, which looks gorgeous.
Pathetic damage control.
Now, past that, there is one more thing, and this is a bit tricky to quantify, but it does seem like Blizzard have massively opened up their automatic refund criteria for the game. So originally, it was not available for many people, and this led to many people having to go through customer support to get their refunds. Since then, though, it does seem like the criteria for automated refunds has massively increased, such that really just about anyone can request a refund for the game.
If you just directly admitted to what was going bad, I would actually be excited for it. I'll actually go one step further and say, if you had just directly addressed the malcontent, if you had actually just come out and said, yeah, we screwed up, I would actually keep the game, but I'm not going to. So over on Reddit today, one of the top posts, as you can see right now, is actually Blizzard has started offering automated instant refunds for Warcraft 3 Reforged.
It's so easy. It's like, how do you screw this up? You're improving something that so many people already loved, and you managed to put it in the dumpster. Congratulations, Blizzard. It'll be interesting to see how your earnings look, and how the market continues to react to more and more uproar about this. Old Blizzard is dead.
Now, a part of me wonders, right, is that, is this Blizzard knowing that it's just a fight, they're not going to win, and then maybe if they try to struggle, people could end up complaining to their country's consumer rights and advertising agencies, because let's be real, there is literal false advertising going on here with that trailer and with, what is actually delivered. So, how can Blizz salvage this? Number one, they need to rename this game. It needs to be called Warcraft 3 Remastered, and they need to drop its price accordingly. Number two, they need to reinstate Warcraft 3 The Frozen Throne on Battle.net and make it officially purchasable through their website with zero alterations to how it was, and then old BNet needs to be activated. That is the only way the Blizzard Entertainment can make this right in my eyes. And to give you an example of another company that recently did this right, Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition has a massive number of great changes, but if you don't want them, well, the original rules are all there as options, including even the old AI. It also came with a new campaign, new modes, and because I owned Age of Empires 2 HD, I got 25% off. That's how you treat a classic franchise.
So we're going over there. This is me looking at the Warcraft 3 Reforged thing right here. Let's see here. Payments, refund a request, continue. Good, maybe I can get some money back. We're processing your request. Please leave this page open. We'll update you as soon as we're done. What would you like to do? Okay, so you can see that's where I ordered it. That's the shipping number. Okay, select order. I would like my $32 back. Oh, sorry, this order is not eligible for a refund. A penalty has been applied to this account too recently. There is no penalty. I've never... What would this be? Am I banned from the forums for talking about refunds? Did I upset Daddy Blizzard for making a mean video? What is this? I'm super annoyed because not only does your game suck, but now I don't even deserve a refund. I can't even actually get my $30 back. You know what? Someday I hope you guys make a Warcraft 4. That way absolutely nobody buys it.
So, there you go. That is the Warcraft 3 Reforged update. I somehow doubt there's going to be much more to say on this story, really. I think this is pretty much a closed book.
I was actually originally planning on doing a big video on the new DLC campaign that's about to come out for World of Warcraft, which was called World of Warcraft Shadowlands. I'm making an official declaration now. I will never talk about Shadowlands in a video. I will never play it. I will never give you another penny of my money because this is ridiculous. You're not even going to actually give me back the $30 of false advertising BS because guess what? That's just the Blizzard way.